Are you ready for the last chapter? Here we go. Chapter 11, Finding the Gowk. Dottie, Casey, and Leon stood next to Mr. and Mrs. Mack. Leon held up a big book. "It's in here," Leon told the crowd. "That's not a gawk," Warren called out. "Why are you showing us a book?" "Because I was thinking about a city in Louisiana called Rain," Leon explained. "It's known as the frog capital of the world. That got me wondering, is there a gawk capital of the world? So I went to the library." "What did you find there?" asked Mrs. Mack. "This book," said Leon. "It's about different traditions, and it talks about hunting for the gawk. That's a tradition in Scotland. You do it on April Fool's Day." "You didn't find the gawk at all, did you?" asked Warren. "That's the point," Leon said. "Hunting the gawk is like going on a wild goose chase. Everyone runs around looking for the gawk, but there is no gawk. You have lots of fun, but you can't ever find it." "That's the way it usually works," said Dottie. "But today we did find it." "Where is it?" asked Derek. "I don't see it." "Did you see the new store?" asked Casey. "Number 3, Fruitvale Park Road?" "The name of the store is a secret," said Dottie, "but we think we figured it out." "Is the name of your store The Missing Gawk?" Casey asked. "Yes," said Mr. Mack. He smiled. "It's a toy store," said Mrs. Mack. She smiled. "We'll also have costumes on Halloween," said Kate. "And a frog jumping contest every April Fool's Day," said Lizzie. "Is that where all the frogs came from?" asked Casey. "Your store?" Kate and Lizzie nodded. "That brings us to our last contest," said Mr. Mack. "Mr. Cliff, can you get the frogs?" Dottie, Casey, and Leon helped Mr. Cliff get the frogs from his truck. Everyone lined up to choose one. Warren pushed to the front of the line. He took his sister Emma with him. "Emma," he said, "pick the biggest one." Soon everyone had a frog. Officer Gill blew his whistle. The frog jumping contest began. Warren's frog didn't move. It was too big. Derek's frog jumped fast, but it went the wrong way. Dottie's frog jumped far. Leon's frog jumped farther. Casey's frog jumped ahead of Leon's frog. But Kate and Lizzie's frog jumped farthest of all. The contest was over. Mr. and Mrs. Mack said everyone was a winner. Then they handed out prizes from the missing gawk. Dottie got a large stuffed bird with bright blue feathers. "These feathers look just like the feather we found," said Dottie. "This must be where the first clue came from." "You're right," said Lizzie. Casey got a toy guitar. The strings were hard as wire. "Is this where the second clue came from?" she asked. "Is the fishing line really a guitar string?" "Right again," said Kate. Leon got a fake snake kit. It had wooden pieces that fit together to make a snake. The picture on the box showed a cobra with fangs. Ooh. "This must be where the snake fang came from," Leon said. "That's a relief," said Dottie. "I wasn't very happy, thinking there was a snake with big fangs on the loose." There was lots of laughter as everyone looked at their prizes. Then Mr. Mack announced the festival was over. "Thanks for coming," said Mrs. Mack. Mr. Mack and Mr. Cliff invited Dottie, Casey, Leon, Lizzie, and Kate to come with them to release the frogs. They went to the pond behind Fruitvale Elementary School and let the frogs go. They watched them disappear behind the trees, under leaves, and into the shallow water. "I hope we get to go on another gawk hunt next year," said Leon. Mr. Mack smiled. "I'm sure that can be arranged." Then the three friends headed back to Daisy Lane. They hadn't got far when voices called out behind them. "Hey, Leon!" It was Warren and Derek on their bikes. "There's a giant woodpecker about to attack you," Warren yelled. "It's going to peck your head if you don't run," yelled Derek. Leon, Dottie, and Casey turned around. Their eyes got wide. They looked amazed. "What is it?" asked Derek. Leon pointed. "It's the frogs," he said. We set them free behind the school, but they're coming back, said Dottie. Why do you look so mad? Asked Casey. Warren started to pedal as fast as he could. Wait for me, called Derek. April Fools, called Leon. Warren skidded to a stop. He turned and looked. There weren't any frogs. There was just Dottie, Casey, and Leon laughing. Made you look, said Leon, and the three friends skipped all the way home. I hope you enjoyed the book. We've got one more in the series that we will read starting in May. See you guys later.